Hey, you there! Thank you for watching, and welcome back to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever. Today, we have a 4v4 ladder match on SETON'S Clutch. Let's introduce our players while they get their beginning structures and units out. In the northwest corner, in the beach slot, we have Accidental Aeon, not going Aeon, but going UEF in Crimson, going first to land. To his right, in the rearguard air position, we have Trandan in light purple, going first land as well as a UEF. South of him, all the way to the rock position for Team 1, we have Hetsji going first land as a Cybran. And last but not least for Team 1, we have Cheeseberry going first and second land, which is to be expected in the central land slot, as well as going Cybran in yellow. On to the southern team, Team 2, we have in the land slot Insidious Noob going first land, already walking to the central causeway in purple. To his left, we have Jackie going first land as a UEF in orange in the rock slot. South of him or her, we have Foley. He's on the move, so I'm trying to find him. Going first land as a UEF in the rearguard air slot. And last but not least, rounding out everyone for the game, we have Gouchy Fingers going, looks like it was first land as an Aeon in light blue, as well as moving to the center causeway for the new meta of having two comms in the middle. Very, very standard map. Pretty much everybody who's watching is very familiar with it, but if you're not, we're going to have two large naval combats in the ponds on the north and the south. We're going to have some fighting in the middle causeway on the land in the beginning, but eventually that will kind of die out. We don't see a lot of land excursions in the early to mid game in the middle, just because Navy could just come over and wreck shop. So let's see what's going on in the middle. We do have Insidious Noob getting a little bit of reclaim. He has a radar in queue for production, making sure nobody runs by him. His mirror Cheesy Berry is as well making it roughly at the same time. I think Insidious is just a tiny bit faster. He's going for these land unit reclaim as well as cheese as well. We have Accidental Aeon on the way as well as Gouchy Fingers. Gotchy Fingers. Excuse me. He will get there first. It'll be close. It looks like he Fingers will get there first, just if not by like 10-15 seconds. So our players are pretty much mirroring each other for now. We have a transport out for Jackie going for their side island over here to the west, and their mirror for in terms of the slot for Hutchi is also landing his engineers on the side island. Pretty normal, pretty standard. We have some early aggression, like I've mentioned before, in the middle causeway. Some units getting blapped by Insidious. Radar under construction, like I mentioned earlier. A decent amount of reclaim in the middle. I'd say about 6, maybe 10,000. Some of it obviously was already collected, so about 10,000. So a good chunk of mass early on. Get some T2 extractors and other units up and running. We have Insidious moving up, getting his mirrors side of the reclaim. And Cheese is getting their mirrors side of the reclaim in terms of the Salem Rex. Com on com action here in the middle for both teams. getting up some veterancy. Very, very low amount, but every unit counts, and eventually you'll rep up to one veterancy, getting that regen and hit point increase. He's going to drop into the water for a little bit, kind of feeling like he's a little pinned down. He's going to peek his head out again, getting some nice overcharge. See, accidentally going to walk in front of Insidious to block some shots. Interesting move there, kind of protecting some of the units out for cheese. Insidious units are moving onto the comm of cheese. They are, looks like there's a ping going down to focus fire on cheese and ignore everything else. Insidious still going for that reclaim. But it looks like attacks are starting to peter out. Units come in, get destroyed, get replaced by new units, and kind of this nice ebb and flow. And Noob going back into the water. He's being overwhelmed in the red, down to about 2,000 hit points, sub 2,000 now. Getting some nice overcharges. Almost has first rank of veterancy. Can he get it before he goes into the water? Ooh, he does. So he'll have that extra hit points back up to 2k, as well as that regen as well. And fingers as well, dropping down into the yellow. About a third of the way there to their first upgrade, or first veterancy rank. Cheese about halfway, and Aeon 20% of the way there. Like I mentioned before, veterancy is very important because more hit points, faster regen, and you have more hit points and your opponent does not, you could almost just walk them down and kill them. But obviously the comm explosion does deal 2,500 damage, so you gotta watch out for that as well when doing a walk down like that. Pushing on that radar installation. Felt like that was a little too far forward. Just kind of betting on the fact that they would hold the middle, which they did not. Good in theory, but again, if you don't hold the middle and you build structures here, they're going to get swept up. They are, the comms in the middle are blocking Fingers from coming back and regrouping with his compatriot down here. First naval units out for Jackie, doing some early harass against these frigates as well as the naval yards. Out for their opponent of Accidental Aeon. Not really anything going down in the south. A couple units being built up, but no aggression to speak of. Just tacking up, upgrading ACUs and whatnot, so not a whole lot going on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 upgrades to T2 going on simultaneously. Looks like someone needs some E-storage to finish up that upgrade. But they're about finished with that, so that'll be finished nicely. Again, T2, T3 upgrades, again, increase hit points on the comms, so again, more survivability against attacks as well as bombers and anything like that of the sort. Fingers helping out his companion here in the middle, getting that upgrade, so they're both repped up nice and pretty. And they're going to also repair as well. It is a feature you can do. You can select your engineers to repair your ACU. Obviously, it's going to cost mass, but you do regen faster. So it's a give and take in there, whether you spend the mass or you just passively heal back up. Forward operating base going down for Cheese, getting some T2PD as well as some missile defense. Looked like he was going for missile launcher, but decided against it. I don't see any TAC missile defense over here, so I don't know why. Maybe just the cost of it, probably. Pretty quiet in the north now. We have some naval movement out into the south, but again, nothing too crazy. Gun speed upgrade going down for Fingers. We have Noob moving forward, building some PD, trying to offset the PD creep out and forward operating base out from Cheese. Looks like Aeon is starting to move back, maybe going after... But he's going after some reclaim. It looks like the PD out from Cheese is going to win out. Not if the comm stands in front of it, though. So if you notice, the shot is going through the comm for Noob, but it is not going through for Cheese, and so therefore he can block and save the hit points while also firing at the same time. Good tactic. Obviously, if you don't want to be doing that when you have a bunch of PD hitting you, but in this case, trying to take out the shield and the PD is a good idea. Cheese pretty much employing the same tactic, except he should move over just a little bit for that one PD. One PD is down. We have another one online, so it's a 2-3. Actually, 3-2 technically, but this one's going after this Mantis. Shield going down, helping protect the comm of Noob. Noob is now down in the red. He should probably start moving, but he's using his units to finish off the shield as well as attack the comm, pushing him back most likely. Yeah, all the PD's down. Radar's going to go down. Getting some T1 point defense in the back, but that's not really going to do a whole lot. So this firebase is going to go down. He might move back. He might keep pushing forward, but when he gets that shield up and running, it's not going to matter a whole lot. Aggression out in the north for both teams. Some pot shots back and forth. Frigate going down. But not a whole lot going on for both teams. It does take a while to build up all that navy. So, I mean, we're at almost 12 minutes. So there's not a whole lot of aggression going down for both players in the pond. For all the players, I should say, in the ponds. We do have T3 air completed for both teams. So ASF production in full swing. And we're just looking at the bases to see kind of the configuration. Almost the same, except Foley has one T3 air headquarters, and we have one T3 factory as well as two T1s repping up, as well as a factory out, HQ factory out for Tradden as well. So more production available for him, but more concerted effort, focused effort down for Foley. We do have more movement out for the comms in the middle. Mentioned earlier that firebase went down. The radar did not go down, surprisingly, so that will be beneficial. We can see the range of that radar. A decent size, surprisingly, for just T1. Insidious Noob moving forward. Ooh, nice overcharge. I'm wondering to see if these PD are going to change targets. Now they are. They've focused fire onto Noob. 3,000. Sub 3,000. Sub 2,000. Oh, yeah, it's not looking good for Noob. Sub 1,000. And boom. That is it. Oh, wow. Less than 100 hit points. Most likely 20 or 30 left. That was a real close call for Fingers. That would have been a double kill. So like I mentioned earlier, when the comm explodes, the surrounding area also takes damage. So what they were trying to do, Team 1 was trying to do, is damage Fingers enough to where if they focused onto Noob and killed Noob, the AoE nuclear explosion, well, semi-nuclear, I guess, would also kill him. It almost worked. Probably like 3 or 4 more shots from Cerberus, and that would have been game over for both of those players. But luckily, he's able to escape. And that gunship is probably like, where is he? Where is he? I want to find him. I want to find him. But he's not going out, and AFSEPs are going to kill that very quickly. Foley inheriting that Central Causeway base, increasing in the generated eco. He jumps to the highest generated eco player in the game at 287. Team 1 leading the generated eco game by about, those are probably reclaim related, say about 80 to 90, maybe 100. And total reclaim collected almost 30k in the coffers of Team 1. And that could just be to the fact that they've also reclaimed pretty much everything they've built. So that also helps. But again, more mass and more stuff counters less stuff. More naval production out for Aeon. We have a T2 factory up and running, so we're getting some destroyers out. What do we have over here? Same over here. Naval factory out for Jackie. So both players pretty much on the same wavelength, same timing. Each have a destroyer out, albeit Aeon has less frigates than Jackie does. But he does have more destroyers, so I'd say right now having more destroyers would be nice to take out all these frigates, but being shot at by another destroyer does not help either. Naval units out for Fingers, moving forward to this beachhead, most likely going to siege. I think that's what that ping was for, was to move that. Yep, moving that destroyer out to take out this fire base. And the units out from Hutsy are moving maybe to intercept. They're kind of going in this northwesterly direction, but I don't see. I don't know if it's going to come in like this. I don't know. You would figure you would come in like this, but I guess not. T3 on the way for Jackie, getting more hit points from that comm. Now we have 2 destroyers out for Team 2. And it looks like we have some missile launchers, T2 mobile missile launchers for Foley. Starting to siege this base, and the shields are starting to buckle. The attack missile defense is not being able to keep up with the amount of missiles and firepower out from the combined forces of all 3 players. So good teamwork, good coordination, saying, yeah, this base can't be allowed to exist, and are making it a point to take it out. And unfortunately for Hatsi, this would be the perfect time to go in and take out a bunch of those frigates, but he doesn't have any destroyers in tow, so that's probably why he's being a little standoffish. However, for Aeon, he could send in some destroyers while these guys aren't moving and be able to take out a few of them at least. So just being aware of what the enemy is doing and having constant communication between all of your teammates would help, because Cheese could tell Aeon, hey, you should go attack the naval units, they're not moving, easy targets, and be able to whittle his forces down more. Oh, look at this. We have T3 just jumped, just pretty much got some destroyers out and skipped it, went straight to T3. Naval headquarters going out for a battleship, which is 86% done. So first battleship on the way for Team 2. Do we have the same thing going on over here? No, but we are getting RAS, so more generated eco for Aeon. So firepower versus economy over there. We have some T2 units out for Hutsi, and still going for those Salems. Good choice, obviously, because that's the only destroyer that the Cyberns have. Again, those are very versatile. You can have them go on land and start sieging more inland structures and units versus other destroyers of different factions. Firebase was taken out. Missiles are moving up to take out other resourcing options, and the destroyers are moving to counter by doing the same thing that Team 2 did, which is just sit there and siege. Posturing going out for both players down here in the southern pond, kind of little back and forth, debating who wants to engage, whether to engage, is it worth engaging. But hopefully Aeon gets his production up and running, because that... Oh, excuse me. That was not a battleship. That was a battle cruiser. My apologies. Neptune class. They have laser weapons or beam weapons, and they are very effective against T1 frigates as well as taking out T2 destroyers because they are direct fire. They pretty much cannot miss. And in naval combat, where your ships are moving and projectiles are simulated and are not always hitting their marks, pretty much hitting your target every single time is very nice, very effective. Look at those beam weapons just shredding the hit points on that destroyer. Spy air scouts going out for Team 1. I want to call those spy planes. Those are the T3 versions, but I always want to call those spy planes just to make it just one word, not have to remember two different names. ASF's going over mid for Foley. I don't know why, because I mean, yeah, I guess he does have air dominance. How many ASF does he have? He has, I think he has over 100 now, right? Yeah, over 100, and Trandan probably only has like, well, less than 10 pretty much. So Team 2 in control of the air game. T3 gunships also out for Foley. That is the disadvantage of giving another base to the highest ranked player in the game. He's able to use that economy more effectively and pretty much jumpstart his tech production and resourcing options as well. But Petsy is almost catching up to him in terms of generated eco for about 450. Oh, he's catching up. I don't know if that's reclaim related or not, but most likely isn't. Yeah, T3. Yeah, a lot of T3 extractors out for him. So starting to catch up to Foley, but that's not going to matter in terms of overall because his team is leading the resource game by a lot, almost a 3-to-2 ratio. And it looks like the T2 naval headquarters as well as these other factories are going to go down. The Neptune class just shredded all of the units for Aeon. And now they're going after his resourcing options. Lots of power going down, E-storage, mass extractors, just everything going down. It is not a good day for Aeon. It's not a good day. Is he trying to reclaim the frigates? I don't know what I saw the reclaim icon, but I don't know what he was trying to. Maybe he's trying to target the battle cruiser. Maybe there are some torpedoes on that battle cruiser. Not a lot, but there's a couple. At least I think those are from the battle cruiser. So you can pull out. Yeah, those are from the battle cruiser. That air has got to come in at some point for Team 1 because these gunships are just going to roll over everybody. Southern Pond, more T2 units out for Hutzi as well as a T3 sonar, so he'll be able to see everything going on in the Southern Pond. Lots of engineers committed to production. We have 2 T2 naval factories as well as a bunch of T1s, but I don't see any T3 on the way. We do have T3 on the way and completed for Hutzi. We have a T3 battleship, the Galaxy class. Very imposing, very effective. You can actually see the T2 missile defense on the sides of that battleship, so able to block out some of those inbound missiles. We have radar stations, looks like a couple of them given to Trandan to help supply the power most likely. It's just the air forces, they split, which maybe was a good idea, but the numbers for Foley are just going to decimate anything and everything. So it actually made them easy targets. Going after the gunships, which was a good plan. Less gunships, less air-to-ground firepower, but I mean, it's probably going to be able to knock out maybe about half of them, but the rest of the ASFs come in and say, nope, not going to let you do that. Com for Aeon, just hanging out in the water. Just, not doing a whole lot, but just hanging out. Because if he goes on land, he's dead. So he's pretty much stuck in in the water over here. Do we have engineers coming to just scoop all of this reclaim? We do. Man, he is on point for the reclaim. Oh, maybe he's going for land invasion as well. So that's obviously the next step once you take out the naval forces of a player, is just start invading on land. Okay, now we have some naval engagements down in the south. We also have some T3 units out from Cheese. We have 2 galaxies as well as 2 aircraft supplying some air units as well as, heavy firepower. And the naval fight has begun. Unfortunately, it looks like Fingers does not have the units or firepower to be able to take out or defend against this incursion by his enemy in the southern pond. Another galaxy class of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 galaxies to 1 Omen. No, or I guess 2 Omen. Ratio's not looking good for Team 2. Total air control in the hands of Foley. Like to see some strats. Like to see some T2 fighter bomber rushes to take out some resourcing options for Team 1. Obviously, they wouldn't really know that they're behind, but they are starting to catch up in the resource game. Over 1 million mass collected or created for Team 1. So almost a 200k advantage. Almost 200k, and they've completely and Team 2 have completely knocked out Accidental Aeon. So that's a lot of income for the other 3 remaining players on Team 1. Obviously, almost 500, 450, and 260. We do have Foley at 530, so he is still the highest mass generating player in the game. Omens are starting to take out all of these frigates while these galaxies sit back and do the same for Hatsi, but we do have these gunships which make it a lot more favorable, I should say, for Team 2. Focusing on these battleships, just wrecking shop. Look at the hit points just drop. Boom. Okay, that one's down. Well, I would like to see some cruisers out for Hatsi. Being able to take out these gunships, take out some ASFs, just start diminishing the air forces out for Team 2. But it looks like, as well as those aircraft carriers were taken out, they do have good anti-air weapons. Obviously, cruisers are cheaper, so you could produce more of them quickly. But the good range and good damage on those aircraft carriers, though. So kind of a 2 sides of the same coin. Either you have more damage and less units, or more units and less damage per unit. So gotta pick and choose. We do have a huge air wing produced for Trandan, though. He was hiding those in the back. Over 200 for Trandan, and Foley has 220. So not a huge discrepancy now, going from pretty much 0 for Trandan. So good on him for just mass producing those ASFs. Fighting in the southern pond has kind of diminished a little bit. We have some sieging going on from Jackie going after the rest of Cheese's base. We have the land incursion has begun for Jackie as well, starting to eliminate the rest of the forces of Accidental Aeon. Frigates in the corner here, preventing any engineers from trying to establish another foothold in the Navy. So it was good on Jackie for putting those units here. It doesn't take a whole lot, because engineers do not sit on the bottom of the water. They sit on the surface. Float on the surface, I should say. 2 battle cruisers out. Beam weapons. Would like to see a battleship. They have better range, obviously more damage. I'd like to see that out, just to have some sieging power over here in the north. But it looks like naval production has stopped for them, so we'll have to check back on that later. It looks like the naval push in the southern pond is slowly getting closer and closer to the main base of Fingers. How many battleships is that? Let's see. We have 5 battleships out for Cheese, and we have 10. Yeah, 10 galaxies. So we have 15, pretty much 13 on the front line. Yeah, yeah, those 4 battleships are not going to last very long. Maybe if they focus fire on one ship, but again, it's pretty much almost a 1v1 trade, and Team 1 definitely has the better ratio for that. Some destroyers, good mix, frigates, subs. So getting a good mix of units. Still no cruisers for either team, it looks like, but it does look like there are more of these aircraft carriers. We have 4, we have 9, so a decent amount of AA out for Team 1, excuse me, down in the southern pond. Any news on maybe some experimentals? We do have Novaks under construction, untargetable satellites that deal damage from the skies. The only way to destroy them is to destroy the little satellite center. That's the first experimental, at least under construction, I have seen so far this game. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I've appreciated all of your support in watching my other videos. The first SETON'S video I have done, as of right now, has had over 100 views, which is just amazing, and I appreciate all of your support. And if you are not subscribed, please subscribe if you made it this far. I'll be putting out more and more of FAF content as time goes on, so I hope to have your support. And again, like the video and comment down below. Comment down below as well, specifically about how you would handle this huge naval incursion out from Fingers. If you were not from Fingers, into Fingers' base from Team 1, and how you would handle that, because it's definitely one-sided and it's moving quickly. Tempest is nice, but kind of late, in my opinion. But again, comment down below, what would you do to kind of stave off the forces of Team 1 down here in the southern pond. Huge strap push out for Team 2 as of fully. Does that get anywhere is the question. What are they going for specifically? Going for the air grid. Looks like they spread their bombs out, which is good. Getting a nice comprehensive bombing done. A huge hole in the air grid. Some fusion reactors living on pretty much no health, but took out 6 air factories as well as the air HQ, so T3 units will no longer be able to be produced, except for the ones that are currently being built. You can't queue up more of them. And some fusion reactors. So I'd say a good raid, but not the best. You probably would have hoped to take out more of the grid. T3 on the way for Fingers. The incursion, the naval fleets, combined naval fleets of Team 1 are pressing their hands around the throat of Fingers. Looks like we have some gunships out for Foley to help support, but they aren't on the front lines, and the anti-air from those aircraft carriers are definitely going to chew them up. We have some strats out for him as well going this way, but a huge amount of SAMs. We have 21 SAMs, so there is nothing getting through that way, and as well ASFs are in that direction, so nothing to worry about for Team 1 over there. Some counterland push out for Cheese, trying to stave off the forces of Jackie, but pretty much cleared out everything, almost everything from Aeon. Still hanging out in the water, just reclaiming, just having a good time. Probably just getting some mass for his teammates, because you can overflow mass and energy and share it between teammates, or just send mass or energy straight to the other teammate. Can you give me some mass, Jackie? I am making Fat Boy. Oh, he's making a Fat Boy. So we have another experimental on the way for Team 2. Yeah, look at this push, just straight line, just frigate after frigate after frigate, just like, yeah, we're just gonna shove them into the face of Fingers, and that Tempest actually might get online damaged, but they actually the engineers are like reclaiming. Fingers has enough APM to be like, okay, I'm gonna reclaim that one. Okay, I'm gonna reclaim that one. That's hilarious. But got some battleships still being produced. 1, 2, 3 T3 factories, as well as obviously the HQ. Frigates for both teams starting to whittle down the engineers, stifling production. Jackie has finished that fat boy and is starting to rain fire from the ground. I was going to say the heavens, but it's not from the heavens. And it looks like, as well, their Tempest is completed, almost 100% health. It's going to release that volley of plasma into the enemy. Look at all the fire out from those battleships. Look at it. Look at all of it. It's just like, help, help! I need assistance here. Help! Boom! Just look at those hit points just being shredded. But all of that incoming fire is just might just be too overbearing for Team 2 to handle in the southern pond. Satellite has been deployed, and looks like it's just. I think it's almost done deploying. Has to rise decent amount, and then it's going to start moving. Tempest is being primaried, it looks like, by most of the forces out from Team 1. That battleship is gone now. There's a battleship hiding inside of the other battleship, but looks like that was the hit points that I was seeing, and that experimental T4 unit is now gone. 2 more battleships remain, soon to be 1 for Team 2, and yeah, that's the hands around Fingers' throat in the naval game is getting tighter and tighter, and will eventually collapse his throat in the naval game. Experimental unit out for Trandan has been completed. Where, pray tell, is that? That's satellite. Oh yeah, it's a megalith over here. So we have a crab on the way, probably to help defend against the land incursion from Jackie. Looks like Team 1 also wants to have their own sort of land engagement by committing this many forces to the southern pond. Torpedo bombers, I mean, that's kind of late. I mean, it was nice probably like 5 minutes ago, but not so much now. There's like no naval units to go after. You could go over the naval units over here, but these cruisers are going to say nope to that. Sieging going on from these cruisers. We have some TAC missile defense, but it's not enough. It's not enough. You need like way more than that. Let's check on the ASFs for both teams. We have 500. I repeat, 540 ASFs for Trandan, and we have. Oh, excuse me, wrong player. We have 480. So 60 ASF difference between Team 1 and Team 2, as well as a huge air wing of broadswords coming out for Team 1. So really pushing that. We're going to knock Team 2 out of the naval game plan. Resourcing options for Fingers over here just slowly getting diminished. Oh, they've already started prepping. They're like, yeah, we got to stave them off. Move everything inland. They can only hit only a certain amount of range. I'll actually show you really quick how far these battleships can hit. Let's see if I can select the right one. So they can probably move it to about here. So probably everything kind of over here, maybe even to here, but which is why they put them all the way back here. At least most of them. We have a T3 Air HQ just hanging out over here. That's gonna get taken out really quick. Sam's just the beaches of Normandy are ready to be invaded. just like they are in the north, but not as many forces out for the north versus the south. Jackie was able to kick his opponent out quick enough to where they didn't have to devote that many resources. Megalith being rained on by artillery and missiles. That's trying to stop this incursion out from Jackie. Almost getting all the way into the back end of Trandan's base. So maybe a couple structures would be destroyed. I don't imagine that much. Look at that. Just look at that. Just see the sea of fighters coming in. That is a sight to behold. But they're just like, yep, we're going to take it. We're going to take this air fight above all of these SAMs because, you know, that's a smart idea. Anyway. But they're distracting the ASFs from the gunships, so that's probably what they're thinking. I don't know. Oh, and it does look like Trandan is going to win this air fight. Still got over 300 as of right now. Obviously, it's going to change very quickly. And moving too fast. Yeah, it looks like Trandan's going to take that fight. At least for the most part, or at least, oh no, it switched. All those SAMs started to do their number on the ASF forces, and it looks like it's going to be almost an even trade. And those gunships are pretty much not going to get any work done. Probably going after these Novaks, but didn't even break the shield. So, pretty much a stalemate for the air game. There are some auxiliary air forces for both teams, but those huge air wings, huge air bubbles or groups is just not, just been eviscerated. See how much mass just is on the field right here. Oh man, look at that, just so much. There's probably enough mass to build a Paragon almost, because that's at least 100,000 right there, and all the other like 30s, 20s. Probably enough mass on the field to build a Paragon. Or pretty much any experimental. Oh, whoa! Looks like Trandan controlled Cade. Hold on. What's going on over here? He had to leave? Billy and constantly deny invasion. Yeah, it looks like he just controlled Cade. Ton of reclaim, perfect time to spam SMDs and SATs. Yeah, I don't see. Usually they say like, okay, oh, need sleep. There it is. Yeah, he had to go sleep. He was probably too tired. And make GC to stop spam. Okay. Yeah, it looks like he had to bow out. That is disappointing to see that, but I mean, life happens, and you're gonna have to say, well, I kind of need sleep for the next day. So, game's been going on for about 40 minutes. In recent years, the developers for FAF have really diminished the amount of lag in the game. That air fight you saw about a couple minutes ago would have taken forever, but they were able to optimize the resources and all that to make that not as bad. I mean, it got to the point at one point where just moving 500 air units at a time just lagged the game. So having 1,000 air units fighting each other at the same time did not do well for people's computers. Just like so like -4, -5, -6 game speeds, just very bad. Land invasion. We have land invasions now for both teams. Which one can do it better and which one can do it more effectively? There is a lot more infrastructure to chew through on Team 2 versus Team 1. Granted, not a lot of infrastructure, but still held them back for a while. But it looks like with the demise of another player, pretty much for Team 1, since Aeon's pretty much just out of the game, all that APM starts to diminish all of those actions per minute, and just the effectiveness of all the units and structures kind of to start going down. Looks like transfer of all land forces have been transferred over to Hatsi. Probably just to, again, focus the APM for both players. You could at least give something over to Accidental Aeon. Like, he can still control units. He's still in the game. Like, he's even still giving tips, like, nuke sub here, can see into airbase kind of thing. Like, you can give him some units. Give him some, like, some of the battleships or some of the maybe the air wing or something. Just anything to kind of help with the APM. Oh, the SACUs. Oh, that's sad. Just to see all those starting to go up in flames. Personal shots. We have Fat Boy Fire. We have T2, T3 units. Just we have some mongeese. Just anything. They're just dancing over here, just hanging out. We have some Titans. Just man. Oh, boom. There's one. And if they're close enough together and do enough damage, they can chain react. So, but they're moving too much, so that's probably not going to happen. Nice distraction tactics for Team 1 up at top. We have a megalith being swarmed by everything in the kitchen sink. We have gunships, we have engineers, we have T2 units, we have BD, we have everything pretty much in the chicken sink. Kitchen sink. Jeez, I cannot speak right now. And those hit points are just falling and falling and falling. Death by 1,000 cuts pretty much right there. That is insane. And even some bombers just to add insult to injury. Yeah, he was not going anywhere with that. What do we got over here? Oh, transfer control over to... Let's see, we have another megalith that has been completed. Gunships having kind of a hard time with these lob shots. They can hit the shields, but the engineers are constantly producing more shields. Land HQ up there for Foley. Probably still wants to keep that. Not a lot of experimentals to speak of on Team 2. Oh, we have a nuke launch. We have a nuke launch out from this Plan B over here from Hachi. Hopefully I've been saying his name right the entire game, because that'd be really awkward. Going for the lamb spam. There is no SMD, and if there is, it would not be loaded. And those are just going to go up in flames. Hopefully reduce the momentum over here, but they have forces pretty much on top of them, and doesn't look like that's going to... It's going to stop more production, but the momentum is too much. It's too much. That base is going to go up in smoke. Boom! Look at those beautiful nukes. Just fireball of fire and destruction. Team 1 is not out of this yet. Their naval player in the southern pond still has a chance. We have these Plan Bs. We have all these battleships. The land has almost been taken care of, so maybe not. And we do have a desync at the end of the game. That shouldn't really matter a whole lot. We can see that Cheese has pretty much been ousted of his air slot, and so it might have been from somebody leaving, maybe Aeon or someone just kind of like, oh, I'm tired, gonna end the game there kind of thing. We have another nuke out for Team 1. Looks like it's going for the satellites over here, but do we have an SMD? I would assume so. Let's see if this lands. It does! Oh, that was close. Accident control case leaves. That just came into range. That arc down pretty much would have landed like right about here. Oh, we got another nuke out. This time, where is it? Where's the nuke? It's nuking. Oh, look, there's a Plan B all the way in the corner. That's actually a really good spot. It's we have Galactic Colossus over here. Going for these megaliths. I don't think that SMD is loaded, and oh, that is such a clutch SMD. That is like perfect placement. Ooh, that was real close for Foley. That could have made it a lot easier for Team 1 to assault this beachhead. Megaliths, 3 megaliths out. 1 in the green, 1 in the yellow. Another one coming up in the rear. Colossus coming to meet them. going for this secondary air grid, takes it out, but I don't think they're going to get all the way into the main base, or main bases, I guess. Kind of split. All those T1 bombers just raining fire down, burning the backs of those crabs. One of them is down, and the other one is about to be as well. We have one more over here, pretty much full health. But all of these T2, what are they? Riptides out for fully. I'm just going to shred those hit points. Wait, some more T1 spam. There goes down that megalith, and there goes down that other megalith. And it looks like Tetsuya just control K's all of his units. Just says, "See ya, I am done." And I think Cheese is going to follow that very closely. Yeah, there was pretty much no recovery for Team 1 in the Northern. This was their only shot at redemption. And that is the end of Cheese. He control K's. And that is the match. Team 2 pulls it out. Again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of the support I've been getting recently, all the views and likes and comments on my videos. And again, if you've made it to the end, I implore you to please subscribe. All of the subscribers, all the views, all the comments, all the likes are constantly motivate me to keep making content, keep pushing forward, make the videos better the best I can. And again, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you, and I will see you all in the next one.